thinking. I see your energy sphere, and it's like it's almost like you are fixated inside the energy sphere, and there is some, it's almost like gas, like fog around you. And I see you move your eyes, but your body is like you're not moving it. And you're wearing this puffy suit. It looks like the suit like I've seen it before, accordion type, when it's kind of like he has folds or creases on it. It's a silver suit with some stripes, but they're like horizontal stripes right here, where the on the shoulders also. Two red stripes, silver suit. There is some label with some planet. The planet, and on top of it, there's looks like a star, but with 4 points above it, and there's like rays of shine coming from it, and that star looks pretty big and orangey yellow. And that planet on the label, I see it now, it's kind of like a beige with little tiny dots of darker beige. Looks like a meteorite, but it comes to me that it's a planet in the solar system. That's where you come from. It's on the back side of the sun. I'm just telepathically talking to you, and you're telling me all this. You said that you are a scientist there. You like to experiment and going to different lives on different planets to bring information to your laboratory center. The laboratory center looks very interesting. It looks like there's like a ring as a tunnel ring. It has the legs. It's like 4 legs. It stands over the like it's like a water surface on one side of the planet, and it's on the water, above water, but the legs go in the water, and another part of the planet is like dry, like a desert, and that's the beige part of it. And then there's like a round sphere, transparent, absolutely transparent white, almost like you don't see where it blends so well into the environment, into the atmosphere, that you don't even see that it's inside. And it has chairs that look like everything's like white and orange. Orange chairs. Oh, plastic is shiny, but they're molded very interesting way and attached to the floor. And there's the tables, and they're like mushrooms like this. And there's a computers all over the place with some devices, with tubes. I don't know, well, those devices are for something. Computers look different. They are like the screen, and behind the screen, it's almost like a big crystal attached behind the screen. It's a blue crystal. cylindrical shaped with sides, multiple sides, points up like an antenna. It's like glued to the screen on the back. Just like, and that's the whole thing. That's how it looks. And you say that Sharn, Sharn, like that you pronounce, says just that's the one in charge of the lab. Ask him what he did, because something went wrong with the trial to send me to Earth. In the other, I was supposed to incarnate in other time where people were different and where it was Lemurian times, not here. Oh my, I feel like I see like a life number one, 3 clones are connected to you from that experiment that you've gone through. There's just like a funny thing there. There's just like a mini you version in you know those cloning facility tubes like that, and the tube it's in a vertical position in the corner of the room, but it's the other room. I walk through the doors, which are glass doors. They kind of go up like this. And like right here, I see you. But I would say it's like smaller you, much smaller you, thinner and composed of this kind of, mint color. It's kind of like that mint color energy body, which I feel like the mint color comes from the gas that they are putting inside. It's not a gel like they do a lot for clones, for growing them. It's a gas for sure. And the same gas is present in your energy sphere, which kind of makes my nose kind of pinch inside. Like it attacks mucous membranes of the eyes and nose inside for sure. It feels kind of funny, like it gets into there and starts pinching. The gas is supposed to keep you fixated because to this dimension, to this density, because you're of much higher density. I use 7s and 8s. This particular one is more like this planet. It's kind of like you did it jumping down from the 8's density to this planet. This planet there is also, it's like third, fourth dimension because your bodies are much lighter. They're more flexible. They are semi-transparent. It doesn't look, you don't eat. You go under lamps. They look like those lamps are LED lights technology. There's a lamp room, and the lamps are on the walls, on the top. It looks like a giant tanning salon type machine. And you just walk inside, sit in the chairs, they're very comfortable, like round, and you kind of zoom out, zone out, the saying, because I'm zooming in and out of the room. And you sit in the chair, you put like this head up, and you can go. There's something with those lights also. They make you very relaxed, so you can um you can split your body and into few and go to different of your lives on experimental lives on other planets to see how you're doing. You don't even need a computer to look at the screen. You just go through that. There's something about that light that relaxes you. Um, it's it's similar to the sun effect. It's kind of relaxes you, makes you feel good, and that's why it's easier to go into this deep meditative states type thing. I get that you probably your subconscious is showing this because you're very much connected to the sun because you're located very close to the sun on that planet, but on the other side, so we don't see it. It's like kind of like a fixed orbit. I can't, it's a different orbit. And you don't move, just like the moon doesn't move. Um, so I think in this life, you can get very relaxed in the sunlight, and it doesn't even matter. Even a fake sunlight would do it for you. You would just go into trance easily. Um, like at the beach, or it doesn't matter on the grass in the summer. And so I see you there in the lab. You wear the suits there, but they look a little different. They don't have the red stripes. The red stripes are significant for something. They're the ones out, those are the ones for transition and transportation of an energy body into newly built physical body that you pick. You basically actually you don't rebuild it. You pick a mother who is putting a request out to have a child, and you pick up on that request because when a mother wants a child, I see like a wave coming from the front of her head where the third eye is, a little um, higher than that area. And it's just like, it goes like SOS signal, but more like a very nice frequency, kind of welcoming signal. I want to welcome a soul into my life. And that's when you catch a signal, you you're telling her, yes, would you accept him or her? In that laboratory, I actually don't see females. I see males only, like dominant male energies. But I do feel like you go by gender on this planet. And she accepted. That's actually your current life. And you get into the body of a baby already. It's like 3 months and 1 week old. And that's it. You're locked in the body. And you were actually pretty scared because it didn't feel right. It felt very constrictive, like in the box. Um, and then they fixate you, and you agreed to it, to fixate you by this greenish kind of mint color gas in your energy sphere. So you would not fly out of it. You would not fly out of your life unexpectedly because it would probably look like as if you left the body and died overnight or something like this unexpectedly for no reason, if they didn't use that. The only thing that we have to research, this friend of yours, a colleague of yours, he says that he fixated you too much. He fixated you probably for 5 lives ahead of time, and he doesn't know how to undo it. And that's why he signaled it to you. And That's why your conscious mind starts searching and asking questions and felt like you needed to liberate yourself from that situation because you don't want to go for 5 more lives. Uh, you know, if you looked at yourself, what I see now, it's like your hair is sticking up like this, and it's covered with that mint. It's a gas, but it's a different structure gas. It's like it's molecules. It forms molecules, because when you zoom in, you totally see bubbles, and the bubbles kind of like got attached to your hair because hair has certain frequency that they can attach to. And that's why they become kind of like rather hard, and the bubbles make them flow. They're light. They're like they became like like cosmonauts
Mhm.
in space.
Mhm.
If the gas wasn't in your energy sphere, you would be floating. And not that you don't you probably feel like you're floating in life anyway,
Mhm.
because I mean, but at the same time, you feel like you should be light, but at the same time you feel very heavy. That's I get this sensation
True.
from you.
True. Yes.
So you're pointing at this platform. Your feet are also glued to some thingy, like like somebody cut out a piece out of concrete and put you on it when it's still wet, so you
Oh.
got glued to it. I mean, I don't know what kind of technology this is, but that looks really crazy. Um, by the way,
Crazy.
you say that the planet is called Nautilus. Nautilus. No, without the U after I. Nautilus. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Uh, and so you're saying that you actually know how to unfixate yourself if we can remove the plate that you're attached to, and the gas has to go also because it actually kind of doesn't let you move in life
Hmm.
um, much. The problem is you have this implant in your head that is really constrictive. It's pressuring on. It blocks your vision here, connection there. It kind of connects you rather only to the lab rather than to space and the informational field in space. That's probably why you can get much information and cannot get the visuals in meditations. And
Oh, right.
so the thing looks like the implant is kind of funky looking. Trying to describe. It looks like a pear-shaped metallic shiny thingy. And from top of the pear goes the cord. It goes through the back of your head, connects to the lab, to some machine thingy. Machine thing is just keeps you. It's supposed to block your memory so you don't remember. Because if you get your memories unblocked completely, which would lead to that if you unplug, but we can unplug anyway. That's what they thought, but it's not the truth. That you would be like a threat to the matrix, and the matrix would push you out. But you're not here for being pushed out. You're rather here for collecting, spreading energy. Energy contains a lot of things. It contains a frequency and information. and it contains the pool. The pool, it's the energy pool of the universe that wants everybody pulled out of artificial reality at this point, because the universe, it cannot expand, it can only shrink, which might happen if it's taken over completely by the AI. And you understand this, and that's why a lot of different races incarnated here. By the way, you kind of look like you look like yourself almost there, except you have bigger eyes that wrap around on the here. Um, they're very much like this green mixed with turquoise kind of color, very light color. And your features of all the people working there are pretty similar, because your noses look almost like a standard nose. Ears are just like they're kind of inside, they're inverted. Like, mm, it's smaller and inverted. You don't really need ears, I guess. Let's say they look more like holes, but you don't see inside of the head through holes, because you see like a cone type. I want to say technology almost. I don't know what it is. Um, and the mouths are very little. No lips like we do have, because you don't talk. You telepathic. You use language, but it's very limited. It's like keywords to start up, to restart up computers, or upload something or download things like that, like some technical terminology you would use, but you mostly speak telepathically. I think it might affect you in this life also, that you don't really like, you feel like people can read you telepathically, and you can just tell a person a story of your life through few words, um, kind of feeling.
Mhm.
Um, so what you're doing right now, he's connecting some device to you, because you are telling him, "Oh, finally you can hear me." I feel it. There's something about this. You call him friend and colleague, but I feel kind of funny about it. I feel like he signed up you for the experiment that was longer. You signed for one life, but he signed you up for 5 more. Um, I get a feeling there's some kind of a hierarchy going on. Let me see the boss of this whole thing, because somebody's above both of you. In the meanwhile, he's sucking the gas out of your energy sphere, so it doesn't irritate your mucous membranes anymore. We're going to the level number 8 from 5 up in the globe to the floor. And it's like the elevator outside of the globe. It looks like a tube thingy. It pushes you up with air. There's no platform, nothing. You just go in there, pronounce in your head what floor you wanna go, and you just like being pushed with air up, and you're there. The feeling is kind of funny. Um, Sitting at the desk, around with the opening, and but he looks kind of weird. On the back and a little bit of front, like from here to the back, his head is like a window, I want to say. It's like made out of glass. It's like a cyborg thing. He looks like his front is like too stretched out. Where did I see it? Isn't an insect with two things that,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like an insect with two black eyes sticking out a bit. He has 28% of insectoid in him when I touch him, and he says, "Don't touch me. I'm a program." He's a program. Wait a minute. I think this planet was taken over or something. Because that side where the desert is, beige side, I see some tubes embedded into the surface. It's almost like thick black pipes in the surface and then covered up a little bit with the dust because it's dusted up with some kind of sand or dust, like dry clay type thingy. It goes into the there's some machine there. It's just a weird thing. I understand why you built the laboratory above, and all the buildings are above there on the logs above the surface of the ocean, because this thing, it's like a big square metallic device with pipes around, and it's pouring black goo into the ocean. And I see grays are behind the whole thing. Zeta reticular grays. That's who they are. And they're dealing with insectoid form. The insectoid forms, they feel very mechanical to me, more even so that they usually do. Their eyes are like computer screens, but they're like very long, like a stripe on both sides. Looks totally like built in technology of multiple screens going in line. They are black and gray stripe on the grape stripe on the heads, three, and above and underneath the eyes. And they have those things in front, like they can pinch you or something. And it looks like that they just put this guy in charge of the lab, and they convinced you. Wait a minute. This friend of yours, so called, he has a chip in his heart, and you have the same chip in your heart. It's a blue dot. It's a blue round plasticky looking like it's shaped as a cap thingy. It has a micro map. You know, like the technology has this micro map or whatever it's called. Programming software, I don't know. They map it out kind of. Yeah, that's how it looks inside that cap. They convinced you too that you needed the implants to be more advanced and to be in pace with progress that the universe is making. They came with a mission. It's like they came with a mission to improve, to make you. And somehow I feel like you had to believe that you had to develop faster because you were on this. Well, the story goes further. You came from the eighth dimension down to the third/fourth to this planet, and because this planet also exists in eighth dimension, to help this planet in third dimension. And that's how the Greys showed up, and that's what they do. I feel they convinced you that you need some technology that they have, and you got interested in their technology. So you accepted the trial. They said that's a free trial. Looks like nothing is free. Yeah, the same exact idea like they do here. And that they just took over your bodies, basically your minds, your consciousness. And they put this cyborg guy, he has a light on the back of his head through the black window that I see that gets a signal. So the signal gets a wave. The wave has encoded program or a command. The command would be given to the workers of the lab. There's only 4 of you there, all males in those suits. And he just basically, they want you to be stuck on Earth. And they want others to be stuck on other planets. They strategically figure out, need, and because they need energy. They take any energy from you. They take the energy of, I get like energy of laughter, I don't know, I guess kind of happiness, sadness, loneliness, confusion, asking questions, not know how to do it, what to do it. Um, all this, basically natural things humans do when we go through emotion to emotion, from one emotion to another. They also like that switch in emotions. So through that heart little cap blue thingy, they can trigger some emotions in the heart, usually blue kind of emotions. That's probably why it's blue, like lonely, cold inside, in a way that um, need more people of the same mentality type thing. Um, Not understood or things like that. And then the implant in the head, it triggers hormones that would cause, that would cause you be happy, for which they have technology to collect that energy that they also need, and they transform it into something else.
Wow.
So even high vibrational energy they transform. So what you're doing now, you're taking you. I see you already took the blue one from the heart, and you're carefully taking out that pear-shaped one from the head. Cut the cord with some pliers or scissors, whatever they are. They're massive. You created by yourself. And you open like a hole in your energy sphere, and it's supposed to suck in like into a black hole and modulate it. You said it's gonna go through molecular modulation. That's the term you use. It's gonna reconfigure the molecules, misshape them so they could never find a way to reconnect and create those implants again. And and now you're going to the moment with the other 3 of your colleagues where the grays show up out of nowhere. They literally, I don't even see them coming by ship. I see them, I see a ray of light, and I see a ray of light, bright green, builds up the 3 grays. It's almost like somebody's drawing by dots. And they show up in front of you and say they came with a mission. They know you're struggling with some progress here, and you want your consciousness higher, and you want more information for your investigation lab. And they can give you that if you try out the implants, because those are supposed to make you faster, think better. Uh, you know, it's in a way, it's like offering higher IQ with with the knowledge of multiple languages at the same time to a human being type of thing that a lot of people would want to try that. So you did, and now you refuse to do it. You're changing the timeline. You're telling, well, they already know you. You don't even need to tell them. You're telepathically connected to all your people there. Um, so you refuse, and they disappear. The light ray goes out. It's actually they produce it from their own ship. It's far, far away from your planet. Also, it travels a large, like a big distance to make it there. Pretty amazing technology. It's like a holographic image of themselves that they put there. Looked very real. Um, so you basically, and then there are papers there that you put together. It's kind of like a contract, but you thought it was just a description of how your life would be. The life got actually distorted by the blue implant that was in your heart, so it didn't go the way it should be. And it seems like your colleague who kind of launched you in that life started having short memory loss and wouldn't check the paper how to help you out with some of the events in your life to straighten them out, and because you were supposed to have like everything easy, going easy for you. Right, and he's just like not checking it at all. It's in that huge machine attached to the wall of the laboratory. It's like a huge printer. Yeah, prints out a copy. And also I see he brings out it's like the computer screen produces a hologram that becomes paper. The paper that you signed it with your energy imprint. You just touched the with your finger, and that was it. It's like a finger imprint energy/energy recognition technology that built into your suit, because you also have gloves. And you just taking both papers and you're burning them in some fire. Looks interesting. Color fire. It's like metallic kind of. So it burns down to ashes. You throw them out into the same portal. Suction in. So I don't see any green gas anymore. I see clear inside your energy sphere. And now you're pointing down at that big piece of that thing your feet are still glued to. Um, I tell you that you can use anything you want as a creator being. You can create anything, and you choose to create like a laser beam machine. I see the red laser going out, and it destroys, shatters basically the platform you're on, and you, yeah, it just goes down. Just kind of dissipates into dust and um, goes into drain that you created at the bottom of your energy sphere. It like goes into liquid, turns into liquid gas, you said. And I tell you that you can check on your DNA is fine. You say, well, let's look at the 3 clones now. I actually see like 18 strands of DNA right now. But you said that you had more. It's just that they had to reduce the amount so you would be able to enter the human body. I'm looking at the clones, so there is There's one in, looks like Japan. It's not China, Japan, I think. It kind of looks more like your face looks more like you were on your planet because the eyes are long. It's a woman with black hair. There's a little baby girl, 2-year old maybe, in the chair. And that basically it's like a little part of you, only let's say 3 to 4% of you. After you entered this body and you became adapted, you split into three more. Each one has about 4%. So one the woman in Japan, one is, look, sounds like, oh, what is this? What is, I can't, by language I can't tell. And Iceland. You said it's Iceland. and and another one, Edinburgh, Edinburgh, Scotland. So three clones. The other ones are boys. Yeah, male figures. It doesn't really matter like what their lives are, but I feel like they're all in the field of connected to one is this woman actually in Japan is a librarian type person, but she works from at home online. She reads a lot of books. She knows a lot of information. So you needed your clones to be sent so they can get information for you from the culture, from the country, from the situation, what's going on in each country. So from Scotland and Iceland, you also get information because those are, one is looks like molecular biology professor in Iceland, and the Edinburgh, I see as a city, like a teacher, but a teaching professor or something. It's higher school, yeah. It's after high school type thing, like older students. It's metaphysics, something like this. They're connected to molecular chemistry and molecular physics. The same thing kind of idea. But also you studied history, it seems like you got some degree in it. But then you understood how history is inverted. You figured some things out for yourself also. I see that this particular clone in Edinburgh, the military was interested in using, but they couldn't because it turned out to be a clone. They can only use somebody with like, consciousness like original, I guess, consciousness, and they couldn't get through him to you even though they tried. But because you're fixated with this gas, nobody can really get to you.
Oh, wow.
And nobody can get in because it's like I actually didn't even go into your energy sphere because I kind of pulled in for a second and I figured I'm gonna start coughing from all of this,
Oh,
uh, and got out quickly. So yeah, you are disconnecting from the clones. They're gonna have this piece. In this case, I feel like you choose to let them live their lives, but and they're gonna be observing, but there's this thing that is gonna pull their pieces, fragments back into your major consciousness that is in this laboratory. You did that. I understand what you did. You only sent 40% of your consciousness to Earth, 60 is at the slab in the capsule because that's the only way for you to come back intact and not to sway in your direction where you're going. But now you're saying that you would rather let your higher self take care of the 60% because you don't really feel like going back to that life either. You want to make sure everything is right. Because things change so quickly, so rapidly. Like, why would you risk? I see that you go there in your energy body. By the way, your energy body is slightly, it's white, like transparent white, but it's turquoise, like an aura, turquoise. And you go there and you take yourself out of the capsule, your 60% of your consciousness, and you send it out. It looks like a cloud with turquoise outline going back into your higher, the energy location. I just see you as a humanoid form there, so it connects to it. It goes into it. But that's you. I touched you. It's your DNA. Um, you're kind of making a joke out of what you do there because I asked you what you do. You created a desk and computer and like reclined in the chair and put your legs up on the table, the desk of the computer. They're just resting all the time and you're working and suffering. Yeah. But I get a feeling like we don't really have a sense of humor like we have here and there because we don't really need it. We're in high vibration all the time anyway. Here, like we use it to raise our vibration, but the high you totally understands the humor, what it is, and how to make a joke and things like that. But rather kind of calmly making it. Um, so I don't see you anymore attached to this laboratory by any means. But you also, what you did, you removed that big machine from the planet that Grace installed with the tubing system going into the ocean floor. And was your intention of all there's not too many people. It's like only 200. I get that they flood the planet, that they went to explore other places to relocate, maybe because you figured that this planet is going to be polluted at some point and there's no reason to stay. But now that you cleansed it with your intention, and I see the waters of the ocean that is slightly turquoise color too, they're, they're clearing up from that black gold that it looks like it's dotted. It's like if you draw water and you put like dots everywhere, that's how it looks to me. Oh, because it's like oil. It's like crude oil or whatever it's called, the oil that they use. That black goo is kind of like that. Uh, so you change there, you cleanse there, disconnected from there, disconnected from clones. Clones, those little fragments are gonna go to your higher self now, like magnets. You program them too, and they seem to be awakened also. So because I see it always see the same picture. Like if you had more than one life, I would see all your lives, in all the lives you're awake and also. It's kind of like when all of your parts get awakened, you get awakened in every life at the same time type thing.
Oh,
So yeah. Um You create this kind of interesting waterfall, but it's not like waterfall would be because in your on your planet water doesn't go from top to down, let's say from a mountain to down, even though I don't see any mountains, but it goes from up, from lower to up, because there's no it's like there's no the laws of physics are different. So you, when you created the waterfall to cleanse your mental emotional bodies from this life, you just your water goes like up 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 like a fountain, but it's more like flat line of water going uh, the waterfall but upside down, basically that's how it looks. And you're going through it like through the door, and it's got some yellow little dots attached to it. Emotions, feelings, connections to people. It's like you have this thing, this ability of you forget, you don't hold anything against anybody, but you also the moral of this each situation you encapsulate as a conclusion that you came to into little yellow capsules, look like bubbles, into your mental body, and that's what you got stuck on the in the water because it makes you feel heavier. You don't want that anymore.
Mm-mm.
So you just open the portal and you push it out too. So you pushed it all out. Hmm. So now I'm looking at you. You know, you look clean. You start creating right away because you feel so much power in your hands. You created this little, I'll explain. It's a beautiful bird. It has the like a pink and blue stripes throughout the body. It looks like a goose, like a baby goose, but it's multicolored like that. And you are just holding it and saying, I just love birds. I like little baby birds. You just like created it out of your mind just by thinking about it. I saw you on your knees and the egg opening. I'm thinking, what is this? Um, yeah, you feel connected to nature because you through nature connect to your own self. Mm, it seems like you miss some aspect of you incarnated on other planets as more like almost like half animal, half humanoid beings. Because you said that would be nice. I used to be a bird also, and I like birds. I used to be a cat type creature, but I was a different cat from what we know in terms of characteristics on this planet. Oh, I see its face. It's interesting. It's like a teardrop shape face. It's a big eyes, like going up. Kind of like light orangey peach color, fluffy. The other planet, Neo planet. Know what it means? Just the planet in our universe called NEO. You wear that peach colored cat. There's a lot of different cats. They go by color. They produce different energy. They share the energy with space, and that's why space looks so multicolored, because everybody shares something, either frequency or some of them share music and singing Crystals share the colors and the frequency of the color that brightens up the universe, and there's energy of creation all over the place, and it looks beautiful. Yeah. Well, we finished with the main story. You look clean. If you want, I can turn it off. We can do the personal questions separately if that's what
Yeah,
you
that
want.
was amazing. You can't make this stuff up. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, I always see a different story each time. It's pretty interesting to me too.
It's so interesting with the clones. Will the clones like be their own people now? Is that like how does that work?
Yeah, it's like their own people. Hmm. Yeah, because they have part of a little bit of your consciousness, so they can function just fine. I mean, in this thick density level, we don't need much percentage of consciousness, let's say, to make a living, but they were connected to you, so they woke up because of you, thanks to you, because when you're connected you can have flashbacks from their lives, they can have
Mm-hmm.
flashbacks from yours, you share information,
Right.
but in your case you were like the main database, main computer
Wow.
and informational center, so you woke them up too.
Wow. So much resonates though, just the not being able to express myself clearly, at times, and just using less words, I think. And um,
Mm.
wow.
Yeah, it's was me kind of too, because I feel sometimes that I say one sentence and the person should know the rest,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Right.
don't. It's always happens to people who have like first life here, or just a few lives. You kind of like run into this mode when you, and also with people like us, we need to be in silence a lot. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like a reflection, and our brain gets overworked and overheated when we talk too much,
Right.
because it
Yeah.
takes extra, it's not natural to
Right.
talk too much.
Oh, so interesting. Wow.
Mm.
And
Okay, well, if you want, I can disconnect here and
okay.
reconnect. Turn this off.